Hello and welcome to Goosebumps HorrorTown. This is a review for Event 26, the horrific anniversary. Now you might be thinking and seeing that this is a one whole clip here, and there's a reason for that. I tried something out the last time for our Egg Monster from Mars, and I figured if we want to do reviews like this, I might as well do them like this style here. It'll still be kind of the same, but a little bit different here and there, and you'll see why in a minute. So, like as usual, let's go ahead and take a quick review of what this event story was all about. HorrorTown is celebrating its 30th year of creation, and this Founders Day is going to be special. The mayor has not only created a new library on the promenade, but has also invited a special writer to help write this town's many adventures and books. However, something is strange with this guy. He's huge. Keep himself hidden away, and top it all off, looks familiar. Is he just a normal, happy guy? Or is there something more sinister with this new visitor? Speak of the devil, there he was. Alright, so this is the 30th anniversary update, as you can pretty much tell. This is based off of the Goosebumps franchise as a whole, the introduction to a very important character, as you probably have known, and of course this started July 21st and August 21st, 2022 at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, was this a delicious treat of a celebration for the 30 years in the making, or was there another disaster on our hands? Well, let's go ahead and find out, shall we? Now let's go ahead and look at the goods and the bads, but first, the goods. So, first thing is they reused last event's character, that being Dr. Gray, if I can find him. You know, I could probably find him, or I can find his house. You know, let's find his house. Oh, I thought that was Dr. Gray for a minute, but no. Okay, so yeah, using Dr. Gray's house, and the story itself was a little bit longer. Last time it was 5 parts, and this one's by 2 extra missions, which is always great. Especially since these are going to be shorter now moving forward. It's nice to kind of have these updates be a little bit longer than what it was, so yeah, it sucks that there's not a whole lot of content in there, but hey, at least it's something, so it's not too bad, I guess. So, there's that. Then we have easily obtainable items, that being this here. These are items that were pretty much available to get us, and the currency that was available for us was actually pretty nicely given to it, like generously, very generously given to people. So we have all that type of stuff here, and it gives a good idea with kind of the look of everything. So it wasn't too difficult to get most of the stuff, as you can pretty much tell. There has been lots of nods to the franchise as a whole, namely when it comes to one particular video, as I mentioned in the previous videos, but it's nice to see them kind of bring nods to some things, like the fact that our new character is based off of a look from the TV series and all that and more. Plus, other stuff like the birthday cake being Scary Birthday to You, but just made up to be the 30th anniversary kind of deal, and so much more. Now, speaking of our new character, it's great to finally have Eric Affabee in the game. Yes, Eric Affabee. He is definitely someone interesting because not only did he cost coins, about 330 to be 3,030 to be precise, but yeah, it is interesting that he's a unique character as far as size goes, as well as just his animations are charming to say the least. Like his being happy or be a happy guy and all that stuff. It's just classic kind of deal, what you would expect with our good old creator, perhaps, as it were. Oh, speaking of, hey, Compton, 30 years. How do you feel walking beside the man who made you? God. And of course, let's finish it off with the last thing, that being the new prize. The Slappy monstrosity that actually drops us currency, which is great because we never had a prize that dropped us event currency, and this is the only time you'd be able to get something like this for free without having to spend money. So that's always a great sign, and it kind of gives off the whole birthday vibe of giving you something really special to kind of signifies everything and all that. And I guess this is somewhat like they wanted to have this be something else, but I'll mention that. Let's go ahead and mention that right now. So those were the goods, and now let's talk about the bad. So one of the first things a lot of people I've seen when it comes to how they feel about this update being bad is this was not based on any books, as you probably tell. This was its own unique thing. Now, although it wasn't based on any books, the fact that the font kind of looked the way it did and the fact the grand prize was a Slappy coming out of the birthday present kind of tells me they were trying to go for a Slappy birthday to you. But, as you pretty much know, the book itself doesn't exist because Slappy World is off limits. But, if it helps, there is this book down here, which we pretty much told or kind of noted that perhaps was the books in question, so I guess it came from Hawaii. It was based on this, I guess. I'm not 100% sure. Lack of decorations to obtain. Now, usually when it comes to these type of stuff, like, don't get me wrong, the decorations are nice and all that they've concluded to this update, but the problem is that the only currency we can have now is the birthday balloons and the cursed books shelf here. And what's sad about it is that you can only get so much because, we have so much here, so it's like you get too much and you don't know what to do with them. Like, it's kind of cool to have, but it's kind of weird to kind of try to put it somewhere unique. I think I'll figure something out, needless to say, with the balloons and whatnot, so it's not too terrible, but it is something to kind of, have us kind of go for, especially with everything here. The crafting felt very underwhelmed, or not even worth doing, or very useful at all. As you see in my crafting 101, it was a complete joke because you had Affabee and also the other guy basically dropping you all you need, and then the last one was the normal currency to kind of get you what you need. And to be fair, I think they did this on purpose so that way they didn't want to, it would be worse to have a birthday update and have it be hard, that, make it like vampire level hard, so people would not be too happy about that. So I take it, I make it easy versus hard is my saying. So yes, although it sucks that it was very, very easy, it's better than being very, very hard now, wouldn't it? And there is such a thing like that in particular for usual things, but yeah, it's what it was. But one other thing that was somewhat of a negative was the Anniversary Mayhem was not actually available for us to put down into the area anymore, like as a permanent fixture type of deal. Now, I put this here as what it is, but from what I understand, this is actually going to come back in the next update. So yeah, it sucks that for this update we don't have it, but it is coming, so we're not really going to get away from it. It's just we don't have access to it in our town. It's only here. So yeah, we will get it, but God help us. I don't know what to put this thing because it's huge. I don't know where to put this, but I guess I'll find some way to put it somewhere fitting, I guess. But that's neither here nor there. And I think the last thing I would say is the most troublesome of this update is the fact that this update was way too easy with no endgame content to do or aim for. Yeah, you get everything done within a weekend, and it's like, what now? You have so much time left, and there's nothing to do. There's nothing to prolong it, to kind of get some items or, want to, with the last update, at least I had some way to get the coins and whatnot. Like, it was a slow burn to kind of get the coins and be able to kind of get me some stuff, but I have too much currency, right? And the crafting stuff, there's nothing crafting there. And from what I understand, that will be fixed next update. I think the mini updates or mini events are going to come back into the game to fix that problem. So we have that to look forward to, I think, unless they lied to me, which, oh god, I can only imagine what would happen if I found out they lied to me, but I digress. So yeah, there you go. So, if you're curious, here is what the title, my review card looks like. So it looks very pretty with the purple and green. I kind of have a very goosebumpy vibes. And of course our Affabee fellow in the corner there, as usual. And that is that there. Now, overall, what do I think of this update? To be honest with you, I didn't mind this update. I actually really loved it. I love the little nods they kind of had with the references. I love the fact that they kind of had the creator being in the game and the clever way they kind of went around this while also being able to have them technically in the game. And not only that, but also nods here and there with like they did a good job with celebrating the 30th anniversary, and it pretty much shows. And yeah, it may be not being everybody's cup of tea or one that they want to do, but I think for how the situation was with this game series, it was pretty good. I would say pretty well done for what it was. So I certainly see this as being in the green top tier, especially because, easiness and all that's in the prize. You can't really argue with the prize being that of, currency being like hard currency being developed for us. So yeah, it is something very useful indeed. And, this update also brought in stuff like fixing the drive-in. So, it could get more items than usual. Man, that was so good. I almost did it without yawning, but yeah, no. I guess Goosebumps, you gotta be tired. That's the written rule of this update to this video, this series. I have to yawn. If I don't, then it's not really much of a video now, is it? But yeah, there you go. Overall, very positive indeed. But yeah, that is it for this video and this update as a whole. Let me know what you think of this type of review style, if this is something to your liking, and, honestly, I wouldn't mind doing stuff like this because it's a little bit more simplistic, especially now that I have a lot more stuff on my plate, and not a lot of people watch these anyways, a lot, so it will help me a lot, but I digress. Anyways, I've been Grim, and I'll be seeing you next time for whatever HorrorTown has in store for us, so until then, see you this Halloween, kiddies.